KVET AM Austin, your home for the Horn. Make us the #1 preset in your car and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.
The morning kickoff. The morning kickoff.
It's the morning kickoff with Mike Hardball Hardge and the world's strongest man, WWE Hall of Famer, Mark Henry, on your home for the Horns. 1300 The Zone.
Okay.
Good morning, Austin, K-Town, Pflugerville, H-Town, Pearland. Unmute yourself and you back in the game, big fella, and you can go ahead and tell people one more time. There you go.
One more again.
Yeah.
Glasgow, Scotland, and Silsbee, Texas.
Or wherever you may be listening. This is the morning kickoff on Sports Radio AM 1300. The Zone. March Madness has its run. Texas women get a chance to play again against a Big Ten opponent this afternoon. Texas baseball and softball win their second SEC series. Texas basketball has a brand new coach. And we lost a lifetime Longhorn legend the other day, and we'll talk about it, and we're all hurting from that. I am your host, Mike Hardball Hardge. My co-host is a WWE Hall of Famer and recognized as the world's strongest DJ. He is the Mark Henry.
Good morning, Austin.
And we've got our guy Marcus on the boards. And if you want to be a part of the show, all you have to do is text the word Texas followed by your message to 81530. Standard data and message rates may apply. That's the word Texas followed by your message to 81530. Standard data and message rates may apply. And if you want to voice your opinion, all you have to do is leave a message on the new and improved iHeartRadio app by using that talkback feature where we will receive your message instantly. If it's good enough, we'll give you a chance to be heard on the air. Before we get into the new coaching hire at the University of Texas, Mark, you are on the road, and you're not just on the road. You're in a whole nother country, my man.
I am. I'm over here on my way to Glasgow, Scotland. I'm probably about an hour out. Just been killing it. We've been trending. Everything is going great, but I'm really missing being there with you guys, partly because I wanted to mourn my friend, Big Kenny, with our friends, but also I wanted to talk about this Texas hire.
Yeah, this Texas hire, and we're probably going to end up losing Mark here in a little bit just because of where he is. But, the Horns got eliminated by Xavier in the playing game at Dayton, and it pretty much signaled the end of the Rodney Terry tenure after 3 seasons. And Rodney Terry finished the season with the Horns this year, 19-16. He took over for Chris Beard in the middle of the 2023 season, led him to the Elite Eight, but the ups and downs of the way that the season was going, he ends up being relieved of his duties. And it's ironic that he is being relieved of his duties by a coach that originally was in the running to be the head coach at the University of Texas, but they ended up going a different direction. And now Sean Miller has been named the official head coach at the University of Texas. Mark, what is your initial thoughts with the changing of the guard, I guess you would say, for the Texas Longhorns?
Well, one, I know Coach Terry will bounce back. He is a God-fearing man. He's somebody that both of us respect. But Sean Miller, we got to see his trial, if you will. We got to see him perform against Coach Terry head to head. And Sean Miller came out on top.
Yeah, it's been the last couple times they faced each other. I think Sean might have won 2 and Rodney won one of the matchups. But you start to to look at it and all the names that were out there, all the different people that you could have looked at and said, all right, here's who I want. This is the guy that I want. This is what I expect to see. And, you can look at a Rick Pitino. You can look at a John Calipari and see what they've been able to do. I thought they would make a run at a Bruce Pearl or a Buzz Williams or even a Greg McDermott is somebody that I was pretty intrigued by at Creighton, but he's a guy that's been there for forever. But,
how about not going right down the street to Houston?
Yeah, but on the Houston situation, I just felt like Kelvin Sampson has way too much goodwill in H-Town. He's in a spot where he is the answer. You know what I'm saying? Like the football team is non-existent, really. They're not part of what's going on. He is the show. You come here, you got Texas and football. You obviously know that that's going to be first dibs. Then you look at what baseball has been able to do, going out and getting the big fish and Coach Schlossnagle. They're doing their thing, and we'll get into that conversation. But when it came to basketball, I just thought, and this is why, Mark, you and I have had these conversations off air. And the biggest thing for me is, what does Texas want to be as a basketball school, right? Like, what are you looking to become? Because you're getting these one and dones, and you've seen it through years in the expectations. You fire Rick Barnes. Rick Barnes has his team headed to the Sweet 16. You get rid of Chris Beard, right? I mean, for his situation. And now his team is headed to the Sweet 16. You look at Shaka Smart and what he's been able to do at Marquette. And Texas fans, and this is where I get kind of mad a little bit with these Texas fans, because it's like, what do you think this university is when it comes to basketball? Do we have great players that come through this university? Absolutely. But how many national championship games has Texas played in? And that is why it's like, okay, what are you looking at this university? What is the standard? Because everybody knows that Chris Del Conte wants to hire a person that can be in a national championship. He wants to have winners. He wants championship game aspirations. But the reality of it is, when has that ever happened?
Well, you got to get a coach that's a national championship caliber coach. You got to put the money into the program to be able to get Texas has the resources, but to get the players that you're going to need, and you don't need the one and dones. It's okay to get maybe one and done player, but you need guys that are going to be in your program for 2 and 3 years that understand how to do it and to develop them into great players and a championship team first. And then you bring somebody in like Trey Johnson who could take your team over the top.
But I believe that that's already happened. I mean, we've seen it over the years. We've seen things happen throughout this time, whether it's a one and done, whether it's the emotion of having a one guy come in or another guy come in, but the results are still the same. The results are still the same. And that is why when you look at Texas basketball, just Texas basketball, and you've been around it for a long time, as have I. But you start to look at the team and the game, and you're saying, what is going to be the difference? What makes Sean Miller the right guy? What makes Sean Miller the choice that initially, again, he was part of the plans before. Now you come back to a guy that after he beat Texas, he ends up losing a job, and now everything's moving fast forward.
I would like to hear that from him, Hardge.
Yeah.
I love to be able to get Coach on the show and ask him what is his framework? What does he feel like should be the identity of Texas basketball? What are the top 3 things that you need? Tell us what you need and let's have that reflect on the university so they can get it for them.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's, like I said, that's why we have to look at this game and look at the season coming up and say, what is going to be the next move for this university? What is a big move that needs to happen with Sean Miller? Sean Miller obviously is going to be the head coach, but what is going to make Sean Miller bring Texas to the Final Four, the Elite Eight, whatever it may be? Like, how is this going to play out? Because if you go back and you look at the history of it, how many Final Fours has he taken any of those other teams?
Hardge, look at Jimmy Butler in the pro game. What Jimmy Butler was able to do, he's an identity guy. He's a defensive guy that can score. But he's first a defensive guy and a high IQ basketball guy. Sometimes you just have to take a couple of lumps and get high IQ guys that can really play defense naturally. You know who plays defense from middle school. Everybody knows. Why not allow him, say, hey, we're not going to fire you in 3 years. You got 3 years to get it together.
Yeah, he's definitely going to have to do that. And like I said, we're hopeful that everything goes the way it's supposed to go, especially because of the changes that have officially happened now. We're just getting started on a Longhorns Monday edition of the Morning Kickoff. Texas basketball has a new head coach. The Texas women are now advancing, and we'll talk about it next right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
The run for a title continues for Texas women's basketball. Shea Holly, a three-pointer good. Shea Holly knocks down the three, and the Longhorns go up by 10. Catch all the action on our sister station. Baseline in traffic, pulled it up. Reverse side, and got it. What a move on the baseline for Leah Moore to go under the basket. Reverse side, got the bucket and won. 103.1, Austin's 80 station. Hook off.
Our iHeartRadio Music Awards celebrated the music and artists you've loved listening to all year on iHeartRadio. Brought to you by Jeep.
It's now streaming on Hulu for a limited time.
Bad Bunny,
Billie Eilish,
Glorilla,
Kenny Chesney,
Money Long,
Nelly,
your host, LL Cool J,
plus Lady Gaga,
Mariah Carey,
Gracie Abrams,
and iHeartRadio's Tour of the Century Award, honoring Taylor Swift, the Eras Tour.
Our 2025 iHeartRadio Music Awards.
Streaming now on Hulu.
Don't miss the iHeart Country Festival 2025, returning to the Moody Center Saturday, May 3rd. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
Well, we have an accident report on FM 969 right there at FM 973. Also, another accident reported, Spicewood Springs Road at Research Boulevard, 183 right there. Some slow traffic also to report, 35 northbound between Slaughter Lane and Stasty Lane, about a 5-minute delay there. I'm Alan Craig with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Groundworks. Is water damaging your home? Contact Groundworks, the basement concrete foundation experts. Get your free inspection today. Learn more at groundworks.com. Licensed in all states where work is performed.
If you're in the market for a wood fence for your home or business, Viking Fence is the right choice for you. Viking Fence has been in business for over 50 years and takes pride in being the most reliable fence company in Central Texas. Viking Fence does gorgeous work, from simple privacy fences to custom projects. Their quality is unmatched. Viking is the only fence company with their own facility where they custom cut red cedar, the most durable and attractive of fence materials, and offer 3 grades of fence pickets, one for every budget. Compare their lumber against the big box stores. And there is no comparison on quality and price. So whether Viking installs your fence or you're doing it yourself, Viking Fence will ensure your satisfaction. Excellent work, great service, and an honest reputation. Call Viking Fence today at 837-6411 for a free estimate or visit their wood fence galleries at vikingfence.com. When you think fence, think Viking.
Eczema flaring up again? We have good news. Exoderm. If you or someone you love suffers from eczema or dermatitis, get Exoderm, the common sense answer for eczema. This stuff really does work. Exoderm contains the #1 doctor-recommended ingredient in a clean hypoallergenic cream with no harsh additives. Take back control of your eczema with affordable, fast-acting Exoderm Flare Control Cream.
Exoderm, It's in the first aid aisle of your local drugstore, supermarket, or big box store.
Pickleball is on the rise. 46.8 million players nationwide, with a projected $5 billion industry by 2033. Looking to be part of this exciting growth? Crush Yard offers a unique franchise opportunity, redefining the pickleball experience with indoor court, exceptional dining, craft drinks, and entertainment. This is your chance to invest in a rapidly growing brand shaping the future of leisure. For a limited time, you can own a piece of the action. Visit CrushYardFranchising.com to learn more. Crush Yard, Pickleball Bar and Lounge.
Tractor Supply knows that a winning season takes practice, teamwork, and a can-do attitude. Thankfully, when you have a neighbor like Tractor Supply, teamwork comes easy. Whether you're caring for pets, chickens, or a few acres, our team members will help you succeed. Season after season. Tractor Supply, for life out here.
Ever wake up feeling lousy, knowing something is off with your body? You don't have time for guesswork. You need Viome. Forget all the generic health fads. Viome doesn't tell you what you want to hear. It tells you what's actually going on inside your body. By analyzing your gut microbiome, Viome delivers a custom health plan that's as unique as your DNA. It's science, not nonsense. Want energy? Want better digestion? Viome has your back. Stop trusting amateurs. Go to Viome.com for a personalized gut professional. Now, call StarStar Gut to get $50 off a full body intelligence test. That's StarStar 488 to receive a link to the offer.
You love your home, but sometimes it feels like it's running your life. Leaky faucets, overgrown hedges, and that room you've been meaning to repaint. Sometimes it's just too much. With AirTasker, finding help is simple. Post your task, set your budget, and let local taskers take care of it. It's like having a personal handyman for all the projects on your to-do list. Download AirTasker or visit us at airtasker.com today and make your home work for you, not the other way around. AirTasker. Get anything done.
What's up, everyone? It's Greg Rosenthal, and I'm teaming up with the king of spring, Daniel Jeremiah. He requires me to say that. We're going to be bringing you 40s and Free Agents, the only podcast you'll need this NFL draft season. From DJ's mock drafts to my top 101 free agents, we'll have it covered for you with all new episodes every Thursday, keeping you up to date as we head to the NFL draft. Listen to 40s and Free Agents on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Follow 40s and Free Agents and start listening on the free iHeart Radio app today.
1300 The Zone and the Round Rock Express. That's a double play.
Welcome back to the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone. Mike Hardball, Hardge, WWE Hall of Famer, and the world's strongest man, the Mark Henry, and our guy Marcus on the boards. And we wanted to get into Texas women. Texas women will play today at 1 o'clock, but how did they get there? They got there by a 105-61 victory over William and Mary. The game started off a little bit slow. William and Mary were fast breaking the Texas women like crazy, but you knew that that was not going to last. And Vic Schaefer and his team held it together and got things done. They outscored their opponent in the first quarter, 23-18, 27-15, 27-11, and then 28-17. And they were led by Madison Booker, who had her 10th career double-double with 20 points and 14 boards. Mark, my girl Taylor Jones and Kyla Oldacre each had 19 and 15 respectively. Kyla Oldacre had 15 rebounds, Mark, and was able to handle her business.
Listen, you know how big a fan I am of hers.
Yeah, I know.
I really know that Taylor and Madison are the stars when you get down low, but bro, that woman is like just that. She is a woman down there. She moves people around. She redirects shots. The shots that she don't block, they have to shoot it a different way. Like she just special. I look forward to seeing her develop into being one of Coach Schaefer's ultimate weapons.
She had 11 defensive rebounds, and that cuts down second chance points, just like Madison Booker had 10 rebounds. Between those two, they had 21 rebounds, and the team had 35 defensive boards. And that takes away second chance points, and they didn't get that. They only had William and Mary only had 6 second chance points. They didn't have much on the bench. Texas's bench outscored their bench 35-9. It was a dominant performance, and now they move to a big game today against Illinois. The game is at 1 o'clock. You can hear it right here on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone. But we also talk about what Taylor Jones has been able to do. You know, Madison Booker is a big fan of Taylor Jones and tried to get her the Lisa Leslie Award. She was very efficient, 7 of 10. But the one thing that I was really paying attention to, Mark, and I know that you're on the other side of the world, but they got a chance to see how other teams would try to play them. William and Mary had a great game plan. It was like, let's just run. As soon as we get the ball out of the net, let's run back. But Texas realized that, and they started running themselves and was able to get back and flip the script on them once that settled down.
Well, that's good coaching. When you recognize what a team is trying to do, and you say, okay, that's what you're trying to do. Hey, well, let's do this.
Yeah.
And Coach Vic is the best at that.
And Coach Vic talked to the media after the game and was talking about being ready to play. And the fan support that was out there, once again, has been unmatched.
You know, again, our crowd was so special last night. And I want to say thank you to everybody that came out last night for a late ball game. It was really electric in our building. And so, you know, I think they understand the magnitude of things.
Whoa, I don't know what happened there, but 10,000 fans showed up to see that matchup against William and Mary and what they've been able to achieve. And now they get ready to play Illinois, another big matchup, Big Ten matchup for Texas. And Illinois, they won their big game as well. And now it is one of those things that you continue to look at and you say, this is just another step for Texas to be able to get to that next level. Oh, man, I lost Mark. Oh, well, that's what happens when you're on the road and you're traveling and you got all this other stuff going on. But, yes, this is a big-time matchup for them. And even Rory Harmon, you know, you play a late game, which Texas had played that late game, and it was a little bit different. And she was asked about, hey, are you able to get some rest? Is this something that you're going to be able to do? And Rory said, that's what I need to do is get rest, rest, rest.
You know, when having those late games like that, your adrenaline's like still on and running for like ever. So I didn't really go to sleep that early, and then you gotta wake up, you gotta eat, you gotta recover, get treatment, watch film, have practice, and then you play at 1 o'clock tomorrow. And it's just how it's laid out, and we're not gonna make an excuse, but it is reality. It is what it is. But these times like this where we play like back to back like that, you just have to really prioritize like recovery. For me personally,
and that's what you got to do. You got to make sure that you get the rest that you need to be able to recover because, again, they played late on Saturday night, which we were already tripping on that, the fact that they were playing so late. And then to flip the script to have a game and you're a number 1 seed and now you're being able to play in a moment like that, that is something that Coach Vic and his team weren't looking forward to. You would think that they would have another late in the day ball game, but somehow, some way, they got them back into the ball game of a 1 o'clock game that nobody thought was going to happen. Even I had to text Craig and Cam yesterday and say, hey, is that game really at 1 o'clock? But yeah, they said yeah. So this is a big matchup for Madison Booker to see if she's going to be able to get back out there as well and play at the elite level in which she has already. Of course, we're going to have more conversation about this matchup a little bit later because this is one of those matchups that you look at and you say, okay, Texas has the bodies, they have the depth, they have the team to make a deep run. But this is one of those games that you always have to look at as well. And you're saying, well, are they one of those teams, talking about Illinois, Are they one of those teams that are going to be ready for the matchup? Because Illinois played in the Big Ten. They've seen a lot that has happened throughout the journey. They're a tough, physical basketball team that has done a lot, but you still have to come out there and be ready to play. And I'm not sure if they're used to playing a team like the University of Texas with all the speed, with all the players that they have, the depth that they have. And, of course, you start to look at who they are as a ball club, and you have to show up. And you got to lock in, because this is a team that Texas, that has been in the mix for quite some time. So you start looking around and making sure that your team is ready to go and is ready to show up. And that's important for this Texas women's basketball team. We'll hear from Vic Schaefer a little bit more and talking about the expectations. We'll also hear from some of the other participants at this particular time. But you start looking at this matchup and down the road and what's next for this basketball team, but you got to win game one. You have to win game one, and that is the most important part about this. They had a big victory against Creighton, who was ranked number 22. They won 66-57 against Creighton, and now the players for them that are going to have to play well, and their bench is very, very short. And when I say short, they played 6 players throughout that matchup. 6 players throughout that matchup against Creighton, which I don't know if I've ever seen that happen at all. And Mark, I know you didn't get a chance to hear most of that, but this Texas basketball team plays at 1:00 today against Illinois, and it's a huge, huge matchup when you think about it.
Well, all the games in the tournament are huge, but when you say huge, it means, to me, you want your best players to show up. If you have to have a short recovery time, then maybe you don't play them as much minutes in the first half, but you still have to play them hard.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt about it. And that's why Texas is who they are. This team that they're about to play, this is where they're going to be affected, because Illinois only played 6 people in the last game. 6 people. And now you're going to go up against a team with the depth like the Texas Longhorns. When we come back, we're going to have a conversation about one of the greatest people that I've ever been around, and I think Mark can second that. The life and story of one Kenneth Sims, number 77, right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Don't miss the iHeart Country Festival 2025, returning to the Moody Center Saturday, May 3rd. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
We have an accident report at FM 969 at FM 973 and also FM 969 at Decker Lane. Another accident reported Slaughter Lane right at Beckett Road. And we have some slow traffic, 35 northbound between Slaughter Lane and Stastny Lane, setting you back about 4 minutes. I'm Alan Craig with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell, Divorce and Family Law. CordellCordell.com. 866-323-7529. 866-323-7529. Joseph Cordell, Principal Partner. CordellCordell.com.
Spring is here, and just like the games are heating up on the court, Cover Chevy and Huddle is bringing you unbeatable deals like 0% APR for 60 months on a 2025 Chevy Blazer EV and a 2025 Chevy Equinox EV. 2.9% APR on 72 months on a 2025 Chevy Silverado 1500. $8,000 off MSRP on the 2025 Chevy Corvette, excluding Z06. See dealer for details. Covert Chevy has the perfect ride for you. Find them at Highway 79 in Hutto. CovertHuddleChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Did you know Factory Mattress has over 6,000 five-star local reviews? Factory Mattress carries all the major brands at the guaranteed lowest price and has free next-day delivery and setup. But this week only, instead of charging you a pickup fee for your old mattress like other companies do, Factory Mattress is doing an exclusive $100 trade-in allowance, even if you didn't buy it from us. The best customer reviews and the lowest prices.
My Factory Mattress.
Opening week at Dell Diamond includes 3 giveaways and 2 fireworks shows. Don't miss a spectacular opening day on Tuesday, April 1st. plus all the fun all week long. Tickets at roundrockexpress.com.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
March is here, and it's time for tip-off. Are you ready for wall-to-wall basketball? Specs has got you covered. With a huge selection of handcrafted brews, canned cocktails, and top-shelf spirits, Specs is the perfect assist for your game day celebration. Take a time out and feed the fans with Specs sweet and salty gourmet snacks. It's time to crash the boards, and Specs is your sixth man. Specs, the fun starts here.
PPD Austin is looking for healthy adults to participate in research studies. It's simple. Volunteers are paid for their time and can work online or attend classes during their stay. Average study pays around $450 per night. If you're a healthy adult and interested, contact PPD Austin today to find out how you might qualify. What will you do with the compensation you earn at PPD? Learn more at meandppd.com. meandppd.com.
Your stomach is a mess and you feel lousy. Something is just off, but you don't know what. Yeah, we get it. You've tried every fad diet and supplement under the sun, and none of it worked. Here's the truth. Your gut's a mess, and your body is letting you know. You're just too busy, and you ignore the signs, making it worse. Viome gets straight to the point, analyzing your gut microbiome to give you a personalized health plan that actually works. Your gut is how your body processes everything that you consume. Stop ignoring the signs. It's time to do something real. Get Viome and fix your gut now. Call StarStar Gut to get $50 off a full body intelligence test. That's StarStar 488 to receive a link to the offer.
Earl Campbell here for my good friends at Austin Shoe Hospital. Austin Shoe Hospital has been repairing my favorite boots and shoes for over 30 years. They are the best Western boot repair company in Texas and can repair any boot brand or style. Visit the master cobblers at Austin Shoe Hospital, and they will bring all your shoes, boots, and bags back to life. If you didn't wear it, they can repair it. Oh, yes, and hook 'em horns.
Visit austinshoehospital.com.
Devin Vassell dropped in 25 to help the Spurs crush the Raptors by 34 in Toronto for their third straight win. Texas reportedly close to hiring Xavier men's basketball coach Sean Miller as their new head coach. The SEC set a record with 7 schools heading to the men's Sweet 16, including 1 seed Florida, who clipped 2-time defending national champion UConn. I'm Ronza Moss.
This is 11-year NBA veteran Katina Mobley. This is what's trending from iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Thrivent. At Thrivent, planning your finances is bigger than money. It's a way to support the people, causes, and community you love. Because the most important thing isn't what you're planning for, it's who. Thrivent, where money means more. Connect with us at Thrivent.com.
The run for a title continues for Texas women's basketball.
Down the 3 and the Longhorns go up by 10.
Catch all the action on our sister station.
Reverse side and got it. What a move on the baseline.
103.1, Austin's 80 station. Hook on.
Up. It's story time with Uncle Kenny on the Hardge Knox Live.
You know, this was definitely one of my favorite segments that I'd ever been a part of in my life during that time. Story time with Uncle Kenny meant more to me, the listeners, and his fans and his friends were something that was always must listen radio. During the time when I was on the air with Chip Brown and Shannon B. Sweeney, you know her as Salty, we always look forward to our conversations. I had a special relationship with him. You had a special relationship with him, Mark. And the one thing that Shannon texted me and she was like, is it true? And I was like, yeah, it's true. And she said, I always remembered I always had to be close to that dump button every time Kenny came in because you never knew where his stories were going to go and how he was going to get caught up in the conversation. And it was unfortunate that I got the phone call on Friday that one of the best human beings that I was ever able to be around lost his life on Friday morning. Kenny Sims was more than just a lifetime Longhorn. He was more than just the number 1 overall draft pick. He was more than Lombardi Award winner, Outland Trophy, UPI Man of the Year. I mean, this guy was bigger and larger than life. You know, Mark, you always talk about you want a trophy. I mean, not a trophy, a statue in your honor for the good that you did. And he is definitely someone that deserves that honor as well.
He was a mentor to so many young guys, not just for the fact that you're an athlete or you play football, money. And he would tell you, like, listen, man, you dance with who you brought to the you dance with who you brought to the dance.
Right.
And you know, like I was having some issues at home when I was a younger guy. Around you love you more than her? And I said, probably not. And he said, then why are you listening to everybody who want it? Kenny was a good person. And I'm going to tell you some hard. You know, I always got to take stuff back to food. There ain't many pitmasters in Austin that can make ribs like him. Bro, I was sitting and talking to him about how he did it. Like, how much time do you marinate? Oh, you got to pull the silver skin off. You got to pull that skin off the bottom, young fella. He always called everybody young fella. Everybody was younger than Big Kenny.
Yeah.
But he always was a mentor to us, man. I'm gonna miss that more than anything. Just going to lunch.
Yep.
Man, I picked up every lunch I could because I just wanted to absorb that knowledge.
Yeah, he's definitely an old soul and before his time. And, you know, story time with Uncle Kenny is truly what it was. And I want y'all to hear this because he finally got inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame. It was something that I knew he took great pride in. He was locked in, ready to go. I was fortunate enough with my family was able to be invited to his ceremony in Las Vegas to be inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame. And just seeing him in that room with everybody and everybody talking to him, that just let you know. And he commanded a room when he walked in it. I mean, there was no doubt about it. He was larger than life. And LHN did this great story about Kenny. And I want y'all to hear all of it right here in its entirety.
God rest his soul, Gene Franklin. He said, son, I think you ought to take a trip down to Austin and look around. And that was in 1978, and I hadn't left. And I'm just glad because I'm still friends with Steve and Tim Campbell, my host, Earl's little brothers, the twins. I landed in the right place.
We are expected to compete at a top level, and because of those great expectations, we normally do.
And there is the Texas defense showing itself right off the top. Kenneth Sims leading the charge.
We all did one thing. We attacked. You're way ahead in the game if you know what to expect. It was hard to trick me. I prided myself on being a smart player because I believe dumb lose more than smart win. I think I jumped off sides one time in 4 years. That's winning football.
Hit there by Mr. Sims.
He can play for my team anytime.
Yes, sir.
You go out there with the rest of the guys, and that's what we play for. We play to go out there on Saturdays, and it's showtime.
A terror to opposing offenses, Sims racked up the accolades during his time at Texas. A two-time All-American, first ever Lombardi Trophy winner at Texas, and UPI Lineman of the Year. But one of his most memorable performances came against SMU during his senior season.
We're number one in the nation the week before, and we get boat raced in Arkansas. So everybody thinks best team money can buy. They're going to run through Texas like doo-doo through a goose. And we had a strong senior crowd, especially on defense. And we went out there and we shut them down. I think I sacked the quarterback 4 times. I made him cry like a baby, big crocodile tears.
He told him he made him cry like a baby, made him cry with big crocodile tears. You know, he was one of a kind.
Hey,
and
I'm going to miss that.
Yes. Yes. You and I were able to take him to lunch. He was part of our pregame shows. He was part of our draft coverage at Twin Peaks when we had the opportunity to do that. He was just a guy that you wanted to spend time with because he knew it all in a special way. I'm going to tell this story real quick because my older son, Michael, was playing in a basketball game, and I forget the team that they were playing against, and Kenny was at the basketball game, and my brother-in-law still says this to this day. Kenny saw a dude make a move, and he said, well, back in my day, they called that double dribble. And, you know, the way that he was able to say it, the way he was presenting everything, he was just a dude that you wanted to spend time around. I wanted to make sure that my kids got an opportunity to be around Mr. Sims because of who he was as a person. They didn't know anything else about the NFL and the #1 overall draft pick. They just knew him as Uncle Kenny, and he brought that to us every single day. I think Mark froze again. So we're going to have to let Mark go and be able to continue these conversations. But the world lost a great man. They lost a great mentor, and they lost a great uncle and family person to everybody. But it is always one of those things that when you lose somebody like him and the importance of people and family, that is something that you've got to always, always keep around because he was definitely one of a kind. Be paying attention to AM 1300, The Zone, and, of course, my social media at Hardball Hardge and the University of Texas. As his ceremony and everything is getting planned, I will be sure to update you as soon as possible because I know that there's a lot of people that listen to this show that always love story time with Uncle Kenny. When we come back, we're going to talk about Texas baseball. Huge weekend. And, oh, yeah, Texas basketball has a new coach, and we'll talk about that at the top of the hour right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone presents the Craig Way Show.
Life is Good by Joe Walsh.
Life's been good, but that's close enough for Joe.
You know, when I see that album cover, for some reason, he looks like Dale Earnhardt to me. With the mustache. I haven't really seen what he looks like in person.
You're right.
Or back when it was.
Trust me, if Dale Earnhardt were alive today, he would not look like Joe Walsh. There's not many people look like Joe Walsh how he looks today. Trust me.
Join Craig Way weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m.
Don't miss the iHeart Country Festival 2025, returning to the Moody Center Saturday, May 3rd. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
We have an accident reported at FM 969 at FM 973 and also FM 969 at Decker Lane. Another accident reported Slaughter Lane right at Beckett Road. And we have some slow traffic, 35 northbound between Slaughter Lane and Stastny Lane, setting you back about 4 minutes. I'm Alan Craig with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Cordell & Cordell.
Cordell & Cordell. Divorce and Family Law. CordellCordell.com. 866-323-7529. 866-323-7529. Joseph Cordell, Principal Partner. CordellCordell.com.
Hey, Craig Way here with DJC Law's Dan Christensen. Hey, Dan.
Hey, Craig.
I've been calling games for a long time, and I hate it when a player gets injured.
Injuries are the worst thing, especially if they're caused by the negligence of another.
Folks, if you're injured, call DJC Law at 512-888-9999.
That's right. DJC Law can come to you 24/7, nights and weekends, at home, in the hospital, via Zoom, or on the phone. and your consultation is always free. There's no risk because you don't pay anything unless we win your case.
That's a great score.
It's a winner.
DJC's team of lawyers work hard for their clients, which is why they have over 1,000 five-star Google reviews from their fans. So if someone's been seriously injured by another's negligence, they should call 512-888-9999.
That's right, 512-888-9999, and we'll take them right to the end zone.
That number again is 512-888-9999. And get your justice, teamjustice.com. Thanks, Dan.
Principal Office, Austin, Texas.
Prohibition. It's no secret that banning alcohol didn't stop people from living it up in the 1920s.
When we're 5 years into Prohibition, the government is starting to go, okay, this isn't working.
I'm Ed Helms, and on season 3 of Snafu, we're taking you back to the 1920s and the tale of Formula 6. What you probably don't know about Prohibition is that American citizens were dying due to poisoned liquor, and all along, an unlikely duo was trying desperately to stop the corruption behind it. Open your free iHeartRadio app, search Snafu, and listen now.
Attention San Marcos and Austin. Twin Peaks girls are gearing up for Miss Twin Peaks 2025 hitting this summer. Get to Twin Peaks South Austin on Tuesday, March 25th from 5 to 9 for an in-store photo shoot of the contestants. Don't miss this.
Tractor Supply knows that a winning season takes practice, teamwork, and a can-do attitude. Thankfully, when you have a neighbor like Tractor Supply, teamwork comes easy. Whether you're caring for pets, chickens, or a few acres, our team members will help you succeed. Season after season. Tractor Supply, for life out here.
At Jackson Hewitt, expert tax prep is now $149 or less, but only for a limited time. Hurry, book your appointment at jacksonhewitt.com today. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/49-149.
With 12 grams of protein per serving, Quaker Protein Instant Oatmeal is there for active mornings, relaxing ones, and all the moments in between. It microwaves in 60 seconds, helping fuel your morning with ease. With 4 delicious flavors to choose from, there's a reason it's the GOAT. That's greatest oatmeal of all time. Try a delicious bowl of Quaker Protein Instant Oatmeal today. Quaker, bring out the good.
The new iHeart app.
This is the one app you need.
Love my presets. The preset feature is dynamite. Love it. And I've been telling all my friends about it. They're on the app.
Get in on what everyone's talking about and get the new and improved free iHeartRadio app today.
iHeartRadio.
Join us in honoring those who served by giving back. Whether it's volunteering, donating, or simply sharing our story, you can make a difference. Together, we're restoring independence, dignity, and hope for Americans' heroes. Visit phhusa.org today to learn how you can get involved. Purple Heart Homes, honoring service, building hope, one home at a time.
Second opinions.
You get them with your health.
So why not with your wealth?
Your stock market investments deserve a second opinion.
At Henyon & Walsh, it only takes a second
to schedule your free second opinion.
Go online and search for Henyon & Walsh, the second opinion people. Investing involves risk, including the possible loss of principal. Advisory services provided by Henyon & Walsh Asset Management. Securities offered by Henyon & Walsh Inc. Member FINRA SIPC.
Get the Apple Leasing Advantage today. Visit appleleasing.com. That's appleleasing.com.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KVET AM Austin. Your home for the Horns. Make us the #1 preset in your car and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good. Join the voice of the Texas Longhorns, Craig Way, each day from 2 to 5 p.m. for the Craig Way Show on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone.
Coming up at the top of the hour, we'll talk more about the new hire for the Texas Longhorns as the Texas Longhorns men's basketball team hired Sean Miller to replace Rodney Terry. And I'll read off something from Chris Del Conte and what he had to say about the relieving of the duty of Rodney Terry. This past weekend, Texas baseball faced the biggest challenge thus far this season. Obviously, the SEC conversation has been talked about ad nauseum. And I know a lot of folks don't believe in it, but I definitely believe in it. And if you're a baseball fan, a true baseball fan, you understand that the SEC is one of the toughest conferences to play in. Not only is it one of the toughest conferences, you have probably the top 5 teams ranked by D1 baseball will be all SEC teams by the end of the week. And then you start to look at the matchup of LSU coming in town. Last weekend, Texas started its SEC quest on the road against Mississippi State, and a lot of Occupy Left Field and a lot of baseball fans got a chance to go to Starkville. And they said, I was in Occupy Left Field this weekend. They said it was one of the best experiences that they ever had. Well, then you come here and you get the LSU Tigers that come in and play a series at Dishfalk. And Friday night, they lost 8-2. Texas lost to LSU 8-2. They just didn't get the timely hitting. They had some rough patches throughout that moment, but they found a way to finish off the weekend. But after Friday's game, this is what Coach Schlossnagle said about his team. Well, he's going to get into just a second. But Coach Schlossnagle.
Yeah, obviously outstanding. Get off the mat, come back yesterday. I think the crowd had a lot to do with that, and that's what I'm saying. So in my opening statement, just having the fans spur on the team. Like I've seen it happen some at TCU. I've seen it happen at A&M. I've seen it happen here from the other side. But that's just those are the real fans. Those are the ones that they can feel that the team needs some help, and they're cheering, they're getting things going before something happens.
And that's huge for this Texas baseball team. So what they were able to do was come back on Saturday night and in front of an electric crowd, big homers by Galvan, big home run by Flores, shortstop, just banging the baseball, big pitching performances as well. So they win that game 11-7. And then you get the big matchup, Game 3. And we've talked about this from the very beginning. You have to find a way to win on Sundays to be able to say, hey, we had a great weekend. So what does Texas do? They go out and win with a big home run by Max Ballou. He had a triple. You also had Will Gasparino and the young freshman, Adrian Rodriguez, who continues to bang the baseball. Got a chance to meet his family yesterday. Got to meet a lot of families yesterday. So shout out to the Texas Longhorn faithful and all of their families. And then you get a freshman to come out of the bullpen, Dylan Valentis, to be able to go 3 1/3 innings of no hit, no run baseball with 5 strikeouts and was able to close it out. But Rugeriejas was the starting pitcher yesterday, and I thought they were going to go with Jason Flores. I really thought that was going to be the guy. But for them to be able to go out there and pitch the way he did, Coach Schlossnagle was really excited to hear and see what he was able to do.
Yeah, pretty awesome. Yeah, he's level-headed kid and doesn't get too high and enjoys those moments. What I'm really proud of is what him doing it after Tuesday night. After pitching against his former school, went 50-plus pitches, I think, and then coming back and giving us length today. That's super awesome. And so maybe we can get him in the rotation with rest. I don't know. We'll just see how the games go.
Well, he came out and was able to throw. He threw 56 pitches, as they said, on Tuesday and was able to come out and make things happen. And Texas now has this target on their back because they seem to be the top baseball team in the state of Texas.
No, I think that stuff's gone. I would like to think that stuff that I just said is gone. But, I think we've proven our relationships over time with players and at every other school and how guys come back. But in terms of, I think when you're playing at Texas or any of these big SEC schools, A&M, LSU, you're talking about premier programs in the country and especially in the state of Texas. So there's always, I know how it is to even at TCU. I felt like we had the best program in the state of Texas for a solid run there, and so it's part of it. You earn it. You earn that target on your back.
And then you also have to look at the fact too that being one of the top teams in this SEC, you start to see what the start of SEC play. Texas now 5-1.
Yeah, I think it does in the moment. But if you've been around the league long enough, you can't get excited and you can't get down. I want to say LSU was like 3-12 at one point last year, and played all the way back and played into a regional and close regional championship game. Florida's if they lost today, they're an awesome team that just so happened to play Tennessee and Georgia, 2 top 4 teams. So in this league, you take the wins, that's for sure. The games are super hard to win. They're very, very easy to lose. So I think it would be a measuring stick in the moment, but it's a long season. We have 8 more of these things on the weekends, and they're all super tough.
They are super tough, and they will continue that next weekend. Texas now 5-1, tied with Tennessee, Arkansas, and Georgia, all at 5-1, 19-3 on the season, and they will continue their quest in the SEC as these games continue to roll. Hour number 1 is in the books. Hour number 2 coming up next. Sean Miller, the new head coach of the Texas Longhorns. We'll talk about it right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Your stomach is a mess and you feel lousy. Something is just off, but you don't know what. Yeah, we get it. You've tried every fad diet and supplement under the sun, and none of it worked. Here's the truth. Your gut's a mess, and your body is letting you know. You're just too busy, and you ignore the signs, making it worse. Viome gets straight to the point, analyzing your gut microbiome to give you a personalized health plan that actually works. Your gut is how your body processes everything that you consume. Stop ignoring the signs. It's time to do something real. Get Viome and fix your gut now. Call Star Gut to get $50 off a full body intelligence test. That's star 488 to receive a link to the offer.
Whether you're tinkering in your garage or tackling big projects, if you know the value of working with your hands, you know Harbor Freight. And you can be confident knowing that at Harbor Freight, you can get quality tools at prices that work just as hard as you do. Because the only thing more satisfying than a job well done is a job well done, well under budget. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Doug. Quickly move. We don't have much time. This Liberty ad is already almost over. We only have a few precious seconds to remind people to customize their car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. Okay. Well, I guess we had more time than I thought.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
I'm Rick Julius, a partner at Cordell & Cordell. For over 3 decades, Cordell & Cordell has been on the front lines of family law. Divorce is more than just a legal process. It's a life-changing event that can impact your future, finances, and your relationship with your children. You've worked hard to build a life that you're proud of, and you deserve a legal partner who will work just as hard to protect it. Offices in Austin, San Antonio, and St. Louis. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Austin area attorneys. Joseph Cordell, Principal Partner. CordellCordell.com.
A great lawn is like a great sports team. It takes expertise and a little extra care to stand out, and that's where True Green comes in. Here's the best part. It's more affordable than you think. They'll even match any competitor's price. Plus, True Green backs it all up with a satisfaction guarantee. Not happy? They will come back between visits to make it right. So don't wait. Head to truegreen.com today and let the pros do the work while you sit back and enjoy the results. Exclusions apply. See truegreen.com for details.
Paying rent can feel like throwing money away. And when you're spending so much, it can be hard to see yourself buying a home. So Rocket Mortgage is helping you put your monthly rent towards home ownership with Rent Rewards. For the first time, save up to $5,000 off the cost of your first home just by paying rent. Only at Rocket Mortgage. Call 800-4ROCKET or visit rocket.com to find out more.
Rocket Mortgage, LLC. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLSConsumerAccess.org, number 3030.
Shop simple. It doesn't get any easier. You're looking for a new Ford. You don't have time to spend hours at the dealership. So Riata Ford in Manor has made it simple. Pick yours at riataford.com. We can bring it to you for a home test drive. Once you determine it's perfect, you can arrange financing, value your trade, and sign all your paperwork digitally. Then simply tell us where and when you want to take delivery. Leif Johnson's Riata Ford in Manor has made buying a new Ford simple.
Are you a business owner, CEO, or responsible for marketing? If you are, iHeartMedia can help you reach your goals and find new customers. We reach more consumers in your target area than anyone else, and we can give you access to those potential customers more cost-effectively across radio, digital, podcasting, and social. We'd love to show you how iHeartMedia can work for you. Get started today by calling 844-844-iHeart. That's 844-844-iHeart.
The morning kickoff. The morning kickoff. It's the morning kickoff with Mike Hardball Hardge and the world's strongest man, WWE Hall of Famer Mark Henry, on your home for the Horns, 1300 The Zone.
Welcome back to hour number 2 of the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. Mike Hardball Hardge, WWE Hall of Famer and the world's strongest man, the Mark Henry, who is on location. That's right, folks. He's on his way to Scotland. You could probably tell by the frustration of the bus where my man was losing signal in and out. But guess what? He will be in his hotel room tomorrow, so we will have Mark Henry back with us. I told him, hey, man, go just keep driving and we'll figure it all out. We also had an opportunity to talk about Texas women's basketball. They will play at 1 o'clock against Illinois, and you can hear the game right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. 1 p.m. tip-off at the Mood. I will be in the house watching those young ladies as they get ready to play Illinois to try to get into the Sweet 16. We also talked about Texas baseball with a huge series win this weekend, taking 2 of 3 from the number 2 ranked LSU Tigers. And Texas now gets ready for a midweek game against Sam Houston State tomorrow. Then they're on the road against Missouri for another SEC matchup. And then we also talked about the lifetime Longhorn and UT legend Kenneth Sims passing away on Friday, and he was a true legend. We will talk about him a little bit more in the show because he was just that good of a guy that you can't give enough love to him. But right now, I want to talk about Texas basketball. That's right. Texas basketball has named Sean Miller its new head coach. Get over to AM 1300 The Zone on Twitter, X. How do you feel about the hiring of Sean Miller, who just coached against Texas as a Xavier head coach? They defeat Texas, and now he is the head coach at the University of Texas. And you know as well as I do, when you start looking at the Texas program, and we talked a little bit about this in hour number 1, you tried to define this Texas program and what the expectations truly are when you start to look at Texas men's basketball. It's just one of those things that you start to try to figure out, and it's like, what do you want as a fan? The question was asked on social media not too long ago, and someone said, would you help raise money for basketball if you had to take it away from Texas, if you had to take it away from Texas football? And everybody was with a resounding no. And I'm like, that's interesting because of the fact that Texas, if you want to try to win and advance and be deep into the season, you need to try to figure out a way to help raise money for the basketball team. The same thing for football. With baseball, women's basketball, you still have to find ways to make that happen. But no one really wanted to do that. So now we're looking at a new coach coming in that is looking for resources to try to get to the Final Four and possibly play for a national championship. But I want you to hear this conversation, and I told you this last week. My son DJ and I were driving back from a practice, and we were listening to Sean Miller talk about Texas. And as the conversation was going on, he said, Dad, this sounds like a guy that is trying to get the University of Texas job. And sure enough, it ended up happening. So I want to play some audio from last week as he was preparing to take on the Texas Longhorns.
You have to hit it right away. You have all the resources and the ability. I mean, if I said I'd like to see every 3-point shot that Texas made from the SEC this year, I'm sure I could have had that loaded in about 15 minutes real time, So with staff that we have and all the technology, man, you can really get into it right away. But I think Texas played against them 2 years ago. I don't believe they have a single player on their team this year that played against us. We have one, Jerome Hunter. So the faces have changed, but I think Rodney Terry and his team, they pride themselves on the defensive end, tough-minded defense. They do a good job of defending, and I think that their defense, like a lot of teams in the Big East, when they're flying around and playing together, it leads to transition, which I think could be their best offense, right? So they get out in the open court and they make you pay. I think they do an outstanding job there. Johnson, their freshman, speaks for himself. If you lead the SEC in scoring this year and you're a freshman, I don't have to say anything more. He's one of the best players in college basketball. And I believe that they have good depth and a great surrounding cast as well. We respect the league they came from. We respect them a great deal. And I think for us, we have to play at our best to have an opportunity to beat them tomorrow.
It's just interesting when everything starts to play itself out. And now that it's all played out, the question is, what is Sean Miller going to do to build up this program? You talked about, he mentioned that none of the guys that he had played against before were back on the team, and it was the same for him. The day of the transfer portal, which, by the way, folks, the transfer portal opens up today. And this is why all of this makes zero sense. And I'm not talking about the hire. I'm not talking about that. That'll play itself out. I'm talking about the NCAA having games that are still going on, tournaments that are still going on. They did it in football. Coach Sark talked about this as well. And I know that they're making changes, but you should never be able to open a portal in the middle of these seasons while the games are still going on. I truly understand that none of these people, none of the people in the front offices are looking at it and saying the unfair advantage. It is unfair for a team to be preparing for their next opponent, still trying to keep guys in the locker room to stay at the university, still trying to get other people to look and say, all right, can you search for a point guard? Can you search for a post player for me? While teams are still playing. The portal needs to open when the season is completely over. The game is April the 25th. The portal opens April the 26th. Why is that such a hard concept for everyone to truly understand? Do not open the portal while teams are still chasing a championship. And when you can say, well, Mike, all those other, we're down to 16 teams. I don't care. You got to get down to the final game and then open the portal. It is that simple. It is that simple. Now, I've got people that I've asked this question to. What do you think of the Sean Miller hire? Well, it's a lateral move. Well, he's a lateral coach. It is that. Why didn't we go after a Bill Self? Why didn't you get Billy Donovan? Why didn't you try to go uproot one of those coaches that had a lot of talent and a lot of success and has been to but to championship games? Why are you just taking that guy? And I say, look, every coach is going to come in here with the aspirations of being a national champion. Chris Beard did that. He messed that situation up for himself. You can say it was her. He put himself in that situation because he was with that person. Now you look at what Rodney Terry was able to do. Grade A, number one person. People just didn't get behind him. Don't understand why. People just didn't see it. Now you're bringing in a Sean Miller, and like I said, the expectations are the same. He is going to be a guy that everybody's looking at, and if he doesn't get them to the championship, what are we doing? He's not there. What is he going to do in transfer portal? What is he going to do in recruiting? Is he going to be able to keep some of the guys that are here? Kendall Weaver has earned the respect of so many people in the country because of his energy and the way that he goes about it and the way he plays. So he's going to be a hot commodity. He's somebody that can be a program builder. And what do I mean by that? He comes in and he sets the tempo for the next generation. I think Texas needs to start recruiting guys that will be at this university for more than 1 and 2 years. Well, how does that happen, Mike? Well, you start looking for glue guys instead of the one and dones. You start looking at guys that can come into your program and lead in the right way for the success that you are believing you should have. Now, what is that? Is it a Final Four? Is it a national championship? Is it getting through to the Sweet 16? What is Texas basketball? And is Sean Miller going to lead Texas basketball to the next level? I truly don't know. But I do know this, as a Texas fan and somebody that knows a lot of Texas fans, how do you not support him? Yes, some people may say it's an upgrade. Some may say it's a terrible hire. Some may say, we could have done better. But regardless, you have to start supporting the program in the right way. I have to give you credit. Y'all showed up for all the games near the end when everybody thought Rodney was going to be out. And just like Mark Henry said earlier, Rodney's going to be just fine. He's a man of faith. He's a man of substance, and he will be put in a position to have success. I wish it would have been here, but hey, it is what it is, and now everybody moves on. But I continue to believe Texas has to support Texas and do everything they can to help Sean Miller, who will be here as the head coach, handle his business. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about March Madness. Some players that are making names for themselves, and of course, you got to be clutch in the big moments. Them Houston Cougars are finding a way to keep it going. Right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Text Texas, followed by your message to 81530 to chat along with your favorite sports radio, AM 1300, The Zone hosts. That's Texas, followed by your message to 81530. Standard data and message rates may apply.
Our iHeartRadio Music Awards celebrated the music and artists you've loved listening to all year on iHeartRadio. Brought to you by Jeep.
It's now streaming on Hulu for a limited time.
Bad Bunny,
Billie Eilish,
Glorilla,
Kenny Chesney,
Money Long,
Nelly,
your host, LL Cool J,
plus Lady Gaga,
Mariah Carey,
Gracie Abrams,
and iHeartRadio's Tour of the Century Award, honoring Taylor Swift, the Eras Tour.
Our 2025 iHeartRadio Music Awards.
Streaming now on Hulu.
Don't miss the iHeart Country Festival 2025, returning to the Moody Center Saturday, May 3rd. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
Well, good morning. We do have an accident reported on FM 969 right there at Decker Lane. Also, another accident reported Wells Branch Parkway at 35. We have some slow traffic, though, in the Liberty Hall area. 29 eastbound between 332 Loop and US 183, setting you back about 8 minutes. I'm Alan Craig with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Straight Talk Wireless. Don't let data limits hold you back from being the gift master in the family group chat. Switch to Straight Talk Wireless and get real unlimited data on a reliable 5G network. Straight Talk, available at Walmart or straighttalk.com.
With 12 grams of protein per serving, Quaker Protein Instant Oatmeal is there for active mornings, relaxing ones, and all the moments in between. It microwaves in 60 seconds, helping fuel your morning with ease. With 4 delicious flavors to choose from, there's a reason it's the GOAT. That's greatest oatmeal of all time. Try a delicious bowl of Quaker Protein Instant Oatmeal today. Quaker, Bring out the good.
Pickleball is on the rise. 46.8 million players nationwide, with a projected $5 billion industry by 2033. Looking to be part of this exciting growth? Crush Yard offers a unique franchise opportunity, redefining the pickleball experience with indoor court, exceptional dining, craft drinks, and entertainment. This is your chance to invest in a rapidly growing brand shaping the future of leisure. For a limited time, you can own a piece of the action. Visit CrushYardFranchising.com to learn more. Crush Yard, Pickleball Bar and Lounge.
Tractor Supply knows that a winning season takes practice, teamwork, and a can-do attitude. Thankfully, when you have a neighbor like Tractor Supply, teamwork comes easy. Whether you're caring for pets, chickens, or a few acres, our team members will help you succeed. Season after season. Tractor Supply, for life out here.
Springfest and Ego Days are here at Lowe's. Right now, get a free Select Ego 56-volt battery with purchase of a Select trimmer, blower, or mower kit. Plus, shop today for new and exclusive items you need for your lawn. So get ready for spring with the latest in innovation from Ego, the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power. Only at Lowe's. We help, you save. Offer valid through 4/2. Selection varies by location while supplies last.
Cars today, built to last. But how they look is up to you. That's where Maike comes in. They specialize in cosmetic repairs, from affordable paint jobs to fixing those annoying dents and dings. Maybe your car's paint is faded, or you've been meaning to fix those scrapes from the grocery store parking lot. We've all been there. Whatever it is, Maike has you covered. The best part? Maike's tax season sales event is happening right now. Stop by your local Maike and find out how easy it is to refresh your ride. With more Americans keeping their cars longer, now's the time to protect your investment and keep it looking sharp for years to come. At Maike, they're proud to be a trusted partner for drivers across the country. Whether it's giving your car a fresh coat of paint or fixing up those everyday dents and dings, Maike is here to keep your car looking its best. Get started. Visit your local Maike today. Get a free estimate and see how easy it is to bring new life to your ride. A little TLC. Better get Maike.
Your stomach is a mess and you feel lousy. Something is just off, but you don't know what. Yeah, we get it. You've tried every fad diet and supplement under the sun, and none of it worked. Here's the truth. Your gut's a mess, and your body is letting you know. You're just too busy, and you ignore the signs, making it worse. Biome gets straight to the point, analyzing your gut microbiome to give you a personalized health plan that actually works. Your gut is how your body processes everything that you consume. Stop ignoring the signs. It's time to do something real. Get Biome and fix your gut now. Call Star Guts to get $50 off a full body intelligence test. That's star 488 to receive a link to the offer.
You love your home, but sometimes it feels like it's running your life. Leaky faucets, overgrown hedges, and that room you've been meaning to repaint. Sometimes it's just too much. With AirTasker, finding help is simple. Post your task, set your budget, and let local taskers take care of it. It's like having a personal handyman for all the projects on your to-do list. Download AirTasker or visit us at airtasker.com today and make your home work for you, not the other way around. AirTasker. Get anything done.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone. We cover all 40 acres.
Oh, yeah, you know what that is. When you hear this, that means that basketball season has been outstanding. We are in March Madness, and the exciting time of March Madness and the most important time of March Madness is right now. It is now time for the Sweet 16, and we know coming in to the tournament, the SEC, who we've been talking about a lot, has had 14 teams that were in the SEC. Well, now we are down to the Sweet 16, and they have 7 teams that are in March Madness. We've had buzzer beaters. We've had great plays. We've had blowouts. The Big Ten has 4 teams left. The ACC has 1 team left. And, of course, the Big 12 has 4 teams left as well. And one of those 4 teams, of course, is the University of Houston Cougars. BYU is a team that has advanced. Duke and Arizona are going to be playing each other. And Arizona is led by Caleb Love. Those who don't remember Caleb Love, he was a former North Carolina Tar Heel who decided to go elsewhere. Well, Caleb Love talked about the opportunity of playing Duke.
You know them very well from your time in North Carolina. Duke, how do you beat them?
Hey, I just say, hey, we got to go back. We got to watch film. We got to get ready for them. And, we're going to enjoy this win. But, we'll be ready for them when it's time. When it's time. We'll be ready for them when it's time. I like that. Yep.
That's right. We're going to be ready when it's time. But, of course, I brought up the buzzer beaters. And there's only one that I saw that was really exciting, and it was for the Maryland Terrapins, who were up against Colorado State, who a lot of people thought Colorado State was going to be a team to win. But guess what? Q said, nah, man, I got this one.
One bucket to keep its season alive. Gillespie from the out of bounds to the freshman queen who's driving, floats it. Oh! Maryland on the right side of a buzzer beater with life into the Sweet 16.
You got to love it. Those moments are so special because of the fact you start looking at all of these teams and you say, oh, Maryland, a lot of people had Maryland being able to continue and get to the Final Four. You had a matchup earlier between Calipari and Rick Pitino, who seemed like they were real salty towards each other. At least Pitino did. Seemed like he was real salty towards him. But Arkansas finds a way to get in. Texas Tech Red Raider fans, get your guns up. You got your coach. And Del Conte didn't try to come and get him. Oh, what? Wait, what? But now you will get a chance to face Arkansas. All these matchups on Thursday. You got Florida, who a lot of people have winning the national championship. I'm looking at Mark's bracket. He has Florida winning the national championship. I'm looking at my bracket. I have them winning the national championship in one of my brackets. They take on Maryland. That game will be in San Francisco on Thursday night. Duke in Arizona. Big matchup. You heard about Caleb Love talking about the matchup against Duke. Cooper Flagg doing Cooper Flagg stuff. Alabama representing the SEC will take on BYU of the Big 12. BYU just finds ways to continue to keep pushing it. And as I said, Texas Tech and Arkansas will close out the Thursday night matchups. Then on Friday, you have Houston taking on the Boilermakers of Purdue. Purdue is just that team in the Midwest that always seems to find a way. After getting embarrassed and being the one seed get knocked out, they've been continuing to just plug along. And it's all about matchups. You look at Auburn being the number one overall seed, taking on Michigan, a team that I'm shocked that they're still in it, to be quite honest with you. And then you have the SEC matchup, Tennessee, Rick Barnes versus Kentucky with their brand new coach. Calipari leaves, and everybody's like, oh, I don't know what we're going to do. Mark Pope comes in. Well, all Mark Pope does is get this team a number 3 seed, and now they are in the Sweet 16. And then you have Michigan State with Tom Izzo, the OG of all OGs, taking on Chris Beard. I know, folks, don't get upset. Don't be mad. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just telling you, Chris Beard taking the Ole Miss Rebels. And by the way, Dougie Fresh, I know I owe you $100. I understand. Ole Miss has found a way to get itself into the Sweet 16. And this was a team that we saw them play. I didn't think they were that great. But what do we always talk about? Being able to get into the tournament and get your team playing the right way. That's the most important part, and that is what Ole Miss has been able to do. There were some streaks that were snapped along the way. Gonzaga losing to U of H. That was a big-time game, too. But U of H being able to get there and get the win. Gonzaga had been to 9 straight Sweet 16. and they were tied with North Carolina, who I thought was going to be better than what they were, and Duke for the longest streak since the tournament expanded to 64 and 85. There will be no three-peat. There will be no three-peat by the Huskies as they ended up losing their game against the top-seeded Florida Gators. And just so you know, Dan Hurley is somebody that I don't know if he is – we might need to do a welfare check on him because my man was on fire last night and been like that all season. You go back-to-back, and they had the quest to go be a three-peat, and that's not good. But he kept walking through the hallways yelling at the Baylor team, I hope they don't blank you like they blanked us, and now it's all over. So then you're like, wow. Then you got, as I said, Kentucky and Tennessee. They faced each other over 241 times since 1910. And now they get a chance to face each other to go to the Elite Eight. And then Coach Calipari being able to take his team to the Sweet 16 for the first time for Arkansas since he came there, and him to be able to do it since he left Kentucky. I love college basketball. I love this time of year, and it is like crazy time when you start to think about it. So I'm going to give you what BetMGM has, and you can go for it all you want. Duke is the favorite at plus 225, followed by Florida plus 350. Houston is plus 500. Auburn is plus 525. And all the other teams are 17-1 odds. So there is a lot to unwrap when it comes to not the SEC, but the March Madness and everything that goes into it. I wanted to talk about Sean Miller one more time because there's a lot of conversation about him and the expectations here at the university. As I said, we start to look at this coaching carousel and how it happens and who deserves to be where and what the expectations are. And now we start to look at all of this and say, look, basketball, baseball, football, women's basketball, everything that goes into this now has become a free-for-all. And I talked about the transfer portal. So I would be interested to see how this plays. I told you before, I don't like how the transfer portal is set up at this particular time. And I know there's going to be changes and everything else. I do also know that the COVID year is now being dropped off. So if all those players staying extra years, that's gone now. Now we're in a position that you have to be able to build a roster for the University of Texas that not only you're thinking of competing for an NCAA tournament bid and championship, you now have to be built for the SEC. And that is going to be the biggest test for me. When you start to look at how this was all set up, you have to be ready to compete in the SEC. And I'm telling you right now, it is not going to be easy, but Texas made their choice, and now we will see what's going to happen. Coming up next, the Dallas Cowboys. Oh, yeah, you thought I wasn't going to talk Cowboys and football? They're still trying to figure out what's going on with the quarterback position, and guess what? I think they might have figured it out. But let's wait. It's not who you think it is. We'll talk about it when we come back right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
In one shining moment, it's all on the line. In one shining moment, they're frozen in time.
Don't miss the iHeartCountry Festival 2025, returning to the Moody Center Saturday, May 3rd. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
Well, good morning. We do have that accident still reported at Greg Maynor Road at Fuchs Grove Road. Also, Mopac at Highway 45, another accident reported there. We do have some road debris in the right lane, US 183 southbound at Lamar Boulevard. That's stop and go traffic back from Mopac. I'm Alan Craig with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Cedar Park Overhead Doors. You can't plan when your garage door will need service, but you can always trust Cedar Park Overhead Doors. Their tech team delivers superior, honest service on every call. For the best openers, best price, and best service, call Cedar Park Overhead Doors or online at cedarparkgaragedoors.com.
During these cold weather months, one of the great climate-controlled entertainment options is to head over to Interspace Caverns in Georgetown for a truly unique experience. Interspace Caverns is a great place to take the family. You'd be amazed at all of the beautiful formations, large rooms, prehistoric animal bones, and all kinds of creations with a truly unique discovery story right here in the Austin area in the year-round temperature of a very comfortable 72 degrees. You can check out the super exciting Sabertooth Zip Ride or Pan for Gemstones. Take the Wild Cave Tour or the Hidden Passages Tour. And there's a great souvenir gift shop and newly remodeled restrooms. So don't worry about the weather. Stay warm and dry indoors with a trip to Interspace Caverns. Interspace Caverns, right off I-35 at exit 259 in Georgetown. That's Interspace Caverns. For more details, check them out on the web at interspacecaverns.com. Interspace Caverns. Check it out. Your adventure awaits.
Would you drive 10 minutes for $500? That's the distance from CarMax to Henna Chevrolet. And Henna guarantees you $500 more than any CarMax offer for your vehicle. Just show Henna your written CarMax appraisal offer within 7 days, and you'll get $500,000 more guaranteed. Is your time worth $50 a minute? It is at Henna. Come get your money at Henna.com. Together, let's drive.
March is here, and it's time for tip-off. Are you ready for wall-to-wall basketball? Specs has got you covered. With a huge selection of handcrafted brews, canned cocktails, and top-shelf spirits, Specs is the perfect assist for your game day celebration. Take a time out and feed the fans with Specs sweet and salty gourmet snacks. It's time to crash the boards, and Specs is your sixth man. Specs, the fun starts here.
Earl Campbell here for my good friends at Austin Shoe Hospital. Austin Shoe Hospital has been repairing my favorite boots and shoes for over 30 years. They are the best Western boot repair company in Texas and can repair any boot brand or style. Visit the master cobblers at Austin Shoe Hospital and they will bring all your shoes, boots, and bags back to life. If you can wear it, they can repair it. Oh, yes, and hook 'em horns.
Visit AustinShoeHospital.com.
Did you know Factory Mattress has over 6,000 five-star local reviews? Factory Mattress carries all the major brands at the guaranteed lowest price and has free next-day delivery and setup. But this week only, instead of charging you a pickup fee for your old mattress like other companies do, Factory Mattress is doing an exclusive $100 trade-in allowance, even if you didn't buy it from us. The best customer reviews and the lowest prices.
My Factory Mattress.
From the ABA Heating and Cooling Weather Center, this is Zone Weather.
Your Austin weather, sunny skies for your Monday, a high in the upper 80s, clear tonight to low 62. Tuesday, sunshine, a high in the low 90s.
This report is sponsored by modernadoptionplans.org.
Have you thought about what you would do if you had an unplanned pregnancy and how it could change your life? Modern adoption plans allow you to choose your baby's parents and if you want to be in the child's life. To learn more about modern adoption, go to modernadoptionplans.org.
News has never been so important.
We've got breaking news from Capitol Hill.
And iHeart makes it so easy to stay in the know with 24/7 news on iHeartRadio.
A major breakthrough in medical research.
Live around the clock, so you're never more than 3 minutes away from the stories that matter most.
Extreme weather is impacting millions.
24/7 news, right at your fingertips with the free iHeart app, where you can now make 24/7 News a preset for even quicker access. 24/7 News on iHeartRadio. The Craig Way Show with the voice of the Longhorns, Craig Way. Weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
You know, it's always football season. I know there's a lot of March Madness going on, and obviously baseball season is here. And don't forget that today the Texas women will play Illinois 1 p.m., and you can hear all the action right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. Our guy Craig Way will be on the call as always. By the way, can we take a moment to kind of give a clap for our guy Craig Way? Let me just tell you, that dude, I was talking to some people yesterday. They're like, he's a monster when it comes to this time of year. Think about it. At one point, he was at the SEC tournament for women. He was at the SEC tournament for men. He was at Stark Vegas for baseball. He flew back to be able to do basketball and baseball on the 40 acres. This dude is an absolute monster. And, oh, yeah, he just happens to have a show on this station from 2 to 5 as well, Monday through Friday. Although the best six man in the business, Andrew Zimmel, has been holding it down for him. But he and Cam Parker have been doing yeoman's work to keep this thing rolling and to make sure that you understand what is going on through all of the action. Way to go, Craig Way. You're my idol, Craig. You're my idol. But I wanted to get into this conversation because the Dallas Cowboys have talked about the quarterback position. No, don't worry about it. I mean, some of you don't want Dak as the quarterback, but I'm a huge Dak Prescott fan. Where's my phone going off calling me a donkey? And because of my affinity for Dak Prescott and what he brings to the team, the stability of the quarterback position is something that I'm a big, big fan of. But the one thing that has happened is Cooper Rush has decided that he was going to go to the Baltimore Ravens. Trey Lance is out and about and still not sure. The only other quarterback that is on the list as the backup is one, guess who? Will Grier, who used to be part of the Cowboys, and then he left, and then he came back. But now you start to say, okay, well, who is going to be Dak Prescott's backup? We know that Dak Prescott, somehow, some way, always ends up hurt. I don't know the last time he played a full season, but he will miss some time. So you have to have that backup that is going to be able to lead your team. Enter the chat one quarterback from the New England Patriots who a lot of people thought was going to end up playing. Didn't get a chance to play that much, but he has one of the biggest arms in sports. And they've talked about this of a possibility of coming to the Cowboys.
And then Joe Milton, this is a really interesting name in this quarterback carousel we're talking about because he has trade interest. The Patriots are exploring a trade. I'm told several teams are interested. One team to potentially watch for is the Dallas Cowboys because they are looking for a good backup, a young backup with upside. They may not get it in the draft. Maybe they get in a trade. They've already made 2 trades this free agency. Maybe they go for a third.
What? Cowboys making a move to possibly go and get a guy like Joe Milton at the quarterback position? Now, do you, even if you go out and you make a move and you say, I'm going to go get this guy, do you, with Trey Lance being a free agent, do you try to bring in Trey Lance, bring him back one more year, or there's some names that are out there, and let me see if this, wets your whistle, so to speak. Trey Lance, Drew Lock, who I kind of like Drew Lock. He got some funk about him. He was kind of sassy for a minute, but I kind of like Drew Lock. Carson Wentz, or even Joe Flacco. What? That's somebody that you could trust. That's for sure. Prescott missed 14 games in 2024 because of a broken thumb. Don't forget, he missed some time before because of the hamstring situation. So Cowboys are looking for a quarterback. Now, enter the chat. You start thinking about the 2025 draft, and one quarterback that has been tied to the conversation that could be a target for the Cowboys is one Quinn Ewers. Another name that could be in the mix is Will Howard. You could also look at Dylan Gabriel. There's a lot of quarterbacks that you can try to groom. And that, to me, is something that I try to figure out with these Cowboy fans on what is next. Again, I talked about Texas Longhorns and their basketball team and the expectations and where do you see yourself going during that time. I'm interested to see what the Cowboys are going to do when it comes to following up to be that team that goes and gets a quarterback to groom to be that big part of it. Unbelievable time in football right now because there is so much that is trying to be unwound for the Dallas Cowboys. And I go back to my guy, Daniel Jeremiah. And Daniel Jeremiah and Bucky Brooks are two of the best guys that to follow when it comes to NFL draft coverage. And I know it's real easy to say, oh, I'm going to look at the mock draft and say that this is the guy that I want to go with. This is what I want to do. But the draft is the draft. And it's a crapshoot when it comes to that. So when you start looking at these teams and what is the biggest move for a team, the Cowboys are still in the hunt for a guy, either a running back, a wide receiver, or a quarterback. Quarterback will be late. But do you bring a guy in the Cowboy locker room as another wide receiver? I believe you need to go get an offensive lineman. And if Kelvin Banks is there at number 12, you go get him and you say, Hardge, you drafted a lineman last year from Oklahoma, and you should dive in more with him. I'm not saying you don't need that. I'm not saying he's not going to be the quarterback. Offensive lineman. But if you get a chance to get a guy like Banks at that position, you go get him. Daniel Jeremiah has the Cowboys taking Matthew Golden at number 12. I'm not going to be mad at that because you need to have a partner for CeeDee Lamb, but you also need to be able to protect your quarterback. And I believe that Tyler Guyton is going to get better. I know Mark believes that he should be on the right side. We've had that conversation. But in Daniel Jeremiah's mock draft, they have the Houston Texans taking Kelvin Banks at number 25. And they already got rid of all their offensive linemen. So that would be a great pickup for them. But are you going to let the Texans get another high-level player as you continue to stay stagnant on the offensive line? You got to replace a lot of stuff right now. So we'll see. Coming up next, we'll finish the final segment and send you to Dan Patrick. And we'll also preview today's big matchup between the Texas women as they get ready to take on Illinois. And we'll also talk about the new head coach for the Texas Longhorns right here on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
It's the Craig Way Show.
If Jerry Jones does care as much about his fans as he says, try to make some moves that might at least appeal to them a little more than a lot of the moves you made. In other words, like a real personnel person, a real general manager. Make Will McClay the real general manager.
Voice of the Texas Longhorns and Hall of Fame broadcaster. Weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. on AM 1300 The Zone.
Don't miss the iHeart Country Festival 2025, returning to the Moody Center Saturday, May 3rd. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
Well, good morning. We do have that accident still reported at Greg Maynard Road at Fuchs Grove Road. Also, Mopac and Highway 45, another accident reported there. We do have some road debris in the right lane, US 183 southbound at Lamar Boulevard. That's stop-and-go traffic back from Mopac. I'm Alan Craig with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Abacus Plumbing, Air Conditioning, and Electrical.
Get all your home spring tune-ups from Abacus for only $49 each. Water heater flush, AC tune-up, electric panel inspection, mainline drain cleanout, only at abacusplumbing.com.
M20628.
Hardball Hardge here, and just like the action on the court, Cover Ford and Hutto is bringing the heat with unbeatable deals like $13,000 off MSRP on select 2024 Ford F-150s, 0% APR for up to 72 months on 2025 Ford Mustang Mach-E or the 2025 Ford F-150 Lightning, $10,000 off MSRP on the 2024 Ford Mustangs and select 2024 Ford Broncos. See dealer for details. Visit them on Highway 79 or at coverthuddoford.com. Covert Ford Hutto, bringing you slam dunk deals this spring.
Prohibition. It's no secret that banning alcohol didn't stop people from living it up in the 1920s.
When we're 5 years into prohibition, the government is starting to go, okay, this isn't working.
I'm Ed Helms, and on season 3 of Snafu, we're taking you back to the 1920s and the tale of Formula 6. What you probably don't know about prohibition is that American citizens were dying due to poisoned liquor, and all along, an unlikely duo was trying desperately to stop the corruption behind it. Open your free iHeartRadio app, search Snafu, and listen now.
At Tractor Supply, we know that a winning season out here takes practice, teamwork, and a can-do attitude. Thankfully, when it comes to teamwork, it's great to have a neighbor like Tractor Supply. No matter the season, our team members are here to help. Like you, they know that nothing beats the feeling of seeing all your hard work pay off. Whether you're caring for pets, chickens, or a few acres, we have everything you need to get the most out of life out here. Season after season, Tractor Supply. For life out here.
For more than 75 years, University of Maryland Global Campus has given you the opportunity to build your next success. Choose from more than 135 degree and certificate programs in career-relevant fields like business, healthcare, data analytics, cybersecurity, and more. Plus, we offer 100% online and hybrid courses, personalized advising, and lifetime career services. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Barbecue season is back. Hey, it's Ellen. And this is Sarah Beth. And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich is that zesty barbecue sauce. I love that it was a little sweet, a little tangy, and with the mac and cheese. I feel like I tasted the brown sugar bacon first. It was the absolute best combination. Pro tip, 3 sandwiches are always better than 1.
Order the Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich and a Coca-Cola on the Chick-fil-A app for a limited time. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Jackson Hewitt wants you to save money on tax prep. We're saving money by having our intern rap in this commercial.
Don't stress. Jackson Hewitt's got expert tax prep, $149 or less. Yo, some tax guys lie about price. They got hidden fees, that ain't nice. Ain't nice. Don't ignore MC Kevin's rhyme, because this deal's for a limited time. $149
for tax prep that's $149 or less. Hurry into Jackson Hewitt today.
No cap.
Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
Have you found your new favorite feature on the iHeartRadio app yet?
I have this go-to playlist. Boom, made it a preset.
It's like the only app you need.
The #1 radio app. Get in on what everyone's talking about and get the new and improved free iHeartRadio app today.
iHeartRadio.
With 12 grams of protein per serving, Quaker Protein Instant Oatmeal is there for active mornings, relaxing ones, and all the moments in between. It microwaves in 60 seconds, helping fuel your morning with ease. With 4 delicious flavors to choose from, there's a reason it's the GOAT. That's greatest oatmeal of all time. Try a delicious bowl of Quaker Protein Instant Oatmeal today. Quaker, bring out the good.
Ever wake up feeling lousy, knowing something is off with your body? You don't have time for guesswork. You need Viome. Forget all the generic health fads. Viome doesn't tell you what you want to hear. It tells you what's actually going on inside your body. By analyzing your gut microbiome, Viome delivers a custom health plan that's as unique as your DNA. It's science, not nonsense. Want energy? Want better digestion? Viome has your back. Stop trusting amateurs. Go to Viome.com for a personalized gut professional. Now, call StarStar Guts to get $50 off a full body intelligence test. That's StarStar 488 to receive a link to the offer.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, covering the 40 acres. Turn your radio up. It's story time with Uncle Kenny on the Hardge Knox Live.
We lost a great man on Friday. Kenny Sims passed away, and he was larger than life human being, one of the greatest souls that people would have known. And our condolences to the Sims family. When I got the call on Friday, it was a gut-wrenching moment because I didn't want to believe it because of what he meant to so many. And I'm not afraid to say that he was somebody that we all call Unc, but he was also somebody that we call friend, mentor. And again, I'll keep y'all posted on all of the happenings to where you will be able to remember him and where you can send all of your condolences. We also talked about the fact that Texas has a new basketball coach. His name is Sean Miller. It comes from Xavier, where he beat Texas just a couple of weeks ago or just a week ago to knock them out of the play-in game. And now he is the head coach. I'm sure we'll be having a press conference coming up sometime this week. Obviously, they don't want to do it now because of the fact that the Texas women will be playing today at 1 o'clock. You can listen to the game right here on Sports Radio, AM 1300 The Zone. They will be taking on Illinois, 1 p.m. tip-off. You can listen to it here, or you can watch the game on ESPN2. Coach Vic Schaefer's not happy about the game being at 1 o'clock. He said, please make this make sense. But it is what it is, and Texas will be ready to go. Rory is talking about rest after that to make sure that their bodies are ready to go. But I expect this Texas team to come out firing on all cylinders and put pressure on the Illinois Fighting Illini because they only played 6 players in the game for Illinois as they won their matchup. So it'll be something to pay attention to against Creighton. They beat Creighton the other day. Also, this past weekend, Texas baseball and softball win their series. Softball wins in dramatic fashion on Saturday night with a walk-off, but then they ruled them in 2 other games. And so Texas defeated Auburn in softball this weekend. I expect them to be either number 1 or number 2 again. And then Texas baseball defeated the number 2 ranked LSU Tigers as they came in to town this weekend. The college rankings are out. D1 baseball has Texas ranked number 7, followed by LSU at number 8. The number 1 team is Tennessee. Number 2 team is Arkansas. Number 3 team is Georgia. Number 4 team is Florida State. Number 5 is Oregon State. I got a chance to watch Oregon State play earlier this year. The other team is number 6, Clemson. Number 7, Texas. Number 8, LSU. Number 9, Oklahoma. And number 10, Oregon. Baseball America has Tennessee at number 1, Arkansas at number 2, Texas at number 3, followed by Georgia, LSU, Florida State, Clemson, Oklahoma, Oregon State, and Alabama comes in at number 10 in that poll. So it's been a fun weekend around the 40 acres, and it continues to happen. If you're just tuning in, Texas has a new basketball coach, and it is Sean Miller of Xavier. There'll be a lot of conversation about that. Folks are already mad at CDC, saying that he was already in motion with all of these because Texas, they go back to Reddit, and Reddit college football goes, Texas baseball falls to College Station in the regional, and after the College World Series, Texas A&M's head coach Jim Schlossnagle comes to Texas as the new head coach, and now Texas baseball is at the top, and Texas A&M got swept by Vanderbilt this weekend, and they fall to 0-6 in SEC play. So a lot of folks are upset about that. Texas men fall to Xavier in the first 4, and then he's replaced by the basketball coach of Xavier, Sean Miller, and now people are losing their mind and they're mad at CDC. Look, Kyle Umling put it on Twitter the other day. You need to be careful because Mr. Still Your Coach is out there, and CDC will find a way to make it get done. Now, I know a lot of people aren't happy about it, but I'm going to tell you this, and I'm going to continue to tell you this all the way across the board. Support your coaches. Don't be mad because of the situation. Just understand that this is where we are. This is the situation, and you have to continue to support. because no matter what goes down, you have to find a way to get things done. And this, to me, is the best way for it to happen. He is the coach. Now, love me some RT. I'm a big fan of RT. I consider RT a friend. I've known him since 2000. So I've known RT for a long time. He's best friends with one of my closest friends that I grew up with. So I've known RT for a long, long time. And the business of college athletics, it's not for the timid or the weak. It is exactly what it is. Everybody wants to be a winner, and if you're not winning, somebody's going to get replaced. It's just the way of the world right now. And for me, I wish him nothing but the best, and I expect him to end up in a great spot somewhere because he's a great man and he's going to be able to do some amazing things. But in this business nowadays, you have to be able to continue to make moves and continue to deliver, because you as fans get frustrated, you get angry, and you want to see dubs. And if it's not happening, you are ready for some moves and some changes. So you are part of the problem too. But support the people that you have, and let's just make sure that we're doing everything we can to get behind every coach on the 40 acres, because to be honest with you, right now it feels real good to be a Texas fan if you are one of those. I want to thank Mark Henry. He'll be better tomorrow because he's been on the road. He'll finally be in the room. I want to thank my guy Marcus for holding it down, and I want to thank you, the people, for always bringing it. It will be better tomorrow, folks. I promise you that. And just remember this. Don't believe everything you see, because even salt looks like sugar. We'll have Joe Cook tomorrow of Inside Texas. Chipper Jones will be on this week because Major League Baseball starts as well. Have a good one, folks. Peace.
A message for qualified investors from Noble Gold Investments. If your portfolio is over $250,000 and you aren't hedged, you're sitting on a ticking time bomb. With markets at all-time highs, history tells us what comes next. A 10% allocation into gold and silver can help diversify. Experienced investors know that in times of economic uncertainty, real assets, not paper promises, offer true security. Noble Gold Investments makes it easy to add institutional-grade gold and silver to your portfolio.